Hello and welcome to Daily Politics on Trust TV, where we bring you perspectives on issues around politics, policy and governance. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thank you for joining us. First, on the tidbits tonight, the headquarters of the Independent National Electoral Commission along Port Harcourt Road in Imo State came under attack in the early hours of Monday as gunmen invaded the office. According to reports, the hoodlums, numbering more than 10, had attacked the facilities of the electoral body at 3 a.m., according to a statement released by the Commission through its Commissioner of Information and Voter Education, Festus Okoye. The attack affected part of the building occupied by the Election and Party Monitoring EPM Department, and one official utility vehicle was burnt. This is the third attack on the Commission's facilities in Imo State in less than 2 weeks, following earlier attacks on its offices in Olu local government area on the 1st of December and the attack on Oru West local government area on the 4th of December 2022.
Got our own strategy too. So they now give them a whole chase. So we are able to neutralize 3, recover 3 AK, and recover 3 pump actions with some of their IEDs, and in fact about 4 of their vehicles.
The issue here is not just banditry. It is trying to understand the motive behind the action and why is INEC the target. And if you collaborate this with events of the past, where I have continuously said that what is happening in Imo State is politically contrived. Some people who think that they can win elections, yes, they don't want elections.
All right, now still talking about attacks, the campaign office of Mohamed Barade, People's Democratic Party candidate for the 2023 governorship election in Gombe State, was also set on fire on Monday. Although details of the attack are still sketchy, the PDP has blamed it on the ruling All Progressives Congress, an allegation which it denied. According to the Director General, Press Affairs to Governor Inuwa Yahaya, Ismaila Uba Misili, he says that the PDP were just looking for cheap publicity. He added that the opposition was in no way a threat to the APC, adding that it had already consolidated its support base in the state and is not worried about losing the election next year.
This is the campaign office of the candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in Gombe State, Mohamed Jibrin Barde, set on fire in the early hours of Monday. A security guard who was on duty when the incident happened narrates his experience.
Abunda na sani dai mun zo mun ga wuta yana tashi wannan wayoyin suna ta sparking to kawai sai muka fito muka.
We saw flames and electric spark. We opened the door and saw the thugs numbering more than 50 with cutlasses and sticks.
Da wuka da ardina da sanduna suna saya nan gurin da acid anan abunan sun wurgara nan gurin to aka harbi tear gas da aka.
A policeman was firing tear gas. He was tired and ran away. The thugs ran away when more police officers were deployed.
In
the aftermath of the attack, Barde and leaders of the PDP in Gombe State, including former Governor Ibrahim Dankombo and Senator Bayero Nafada, were at the site to assess the damage. In a press conference on Monday, the Barde campaign organization blamed the ruling All Progressives Congress APC for the attack.
We are appealing to our teaming supporters, well-wishers, and all sympathizers of the PDP as a party to please hold their peace and remain calm and not to take the laws into their hands, because we are taking every appropriate measure officially to address these issues.
I think there is a third or a fourth time when this type of thing has happened. That means somebody somewhere is encouraging this to happen. And the relevant evidence that is supposed to stop this has done nothing about it.
The Director, Press and Public Affairs to Governor Inwa Yahya, Ismaila Ubamisili denies the allegations, saying the PDP was just looking for cheap publicity. The Nigeria Police Gombe State Command vowed to investigate the attack and urge parents to warn their children against political violence.
We will investigate. Good day.
Stakeholders say incidents like this call for the security architecture in the state to be strengthened ahead of the 2023 general elections in order to guarantee a free, fair, and accepted exercise.
Now, finally, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar, says he will initiate programs that will take millions of youths and women out of poverty if elected in the 2023 general elections. The PDP candidate stated this during his campaign rally in Lafia, Nasarawa State. Take a look.
I also want to use this opportunity to reiterate our commitment to making sure that our young men and women have jobs to do and have work to do when we come into office. That is why we set aside $10 billion so that we can pump this money into small, medium enterprises for our young men and women. Let me also announce that we will link up Nasarawa with all other neighboring states as far as our road infrastructure is concerned.
Well, there you have it, sound bites from presidential campaign rally of the People's Democratic Party in Nasarawa earlier today. Now, in the studio with us is Dr. Salahuddin Kashim, a conflict advisor and security analyst, and also joined by Simiye Michael. He is the Executive Director, Dean Initiative. Thank you so much for joining us on Daily Politics tonight.
Thank you very much for having me.
Well, let me start with you, Dr. Salahuddin. You've seen some of the videos that we played earlier, and two of those videos actually talked about violence that we've seen in Gombe and in Imo State. Specifically, let's start with the ones targeting INEC offices in the southeast and maybe a few of others in other parts of the country. How would you react to this, or I would say, how would you describe these attacks and how they have continued unabated?
Well, thank you very much for having me. I think it is first of all important to describe the attacks as baseless and a clear demonstration of increased intolerance within the political space. Between February 2019 and today, there has been about 45 various attacks on INEC facilities. There has been about 86 soldiers who have been killed and mutilated, about 64 police officers, 2 correctional service officers, NDLE and SADs. This whole suggests to us very clearly that 2023 is going to be entirely different. And it is going to be entirely different because of the recipe of conflict that is actually brewing up. And particularly the attacks on the INEC facility suggest very clearly that we have a group of faceless individuals who are particularly demonstrating their disruptive and destructive power and capability to be able to twist the elections in strategic locations. And the essence basically is to be able to ensure that there is some level of rerun or some kind of integrity challenge or legitimacy issue with the elections. And obviously this is the one we have seen. The 45 attacks that I told you about is in 14 states. And of course, there are also locations where INEC facilities are not attacked yet, but obviously there are also flashpoints where potentials might happen. And I think security agencies at this point must also deploy their 3 Ps to be able to control the threat analysis in election security management. One would be how they deal with the issue of personnel, the second is property, and the third one is about process. All of these components you must put in before, during, and after the general elections. But if you look at it in entirety, it is not something you can wish away. It tells you very clearly that these guys are very coordinated, they are very systematic, and they know exactly what they are looking for. And I can tell you for one reason, that it is a clear demonstration of the inability to actually rig election physically anymore because of the technology that is now being introduced. So there is this approach to begin to undermine pre-election activities in various locations. And the second thing is the elite capture of the society, where statesmen and those who are politicians are beginning to see it as a strategy, okay? And of course, there is one thing that is going to play out very clearly in 2023. One is the weaponization of ethnicity, which is what we are seeing in the southeast playing out. The second is the weaponization of poverty, which is largely going to play out in the north. And we are going to see weaponization of illiteracy. And that in itself is the reason why we must constantly provide some level of consistent voter education as we run into the election.
Hello and welcome to Daily Politics on Trust TV. On this program, we discuss issues around politics, policy and governance. I am Shafiu Suleiman. The presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Bola Tinubu, has pledged to address security and economic challenges with devil in the north if elected president come 2023. Tinubu made the pledge during a presidential rally in Kaduna on Tuesday. During the rally, the presidential candidate also assured Nigerians that they will not regret voting him into power in the 2023 general elections. He says if elected into office, his government will create jobs for the youths and provide an enabling environment for farmers with inputs to enhance agricultural production.
To remain loyal to our country. You will never regret it. Inshallah. All those troublemakers, violent kidnappers, killers, all troublemakers, I assure you, we will eliminate them.
Now, away from the APC campaign rally that is in the northwest, we also had the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar making, similar promises at the campaign rally today in Plateau State. The presidential candidate of the PDP promised, to restore peace and improve economic activities in the state. He also added that if elected, he will ensure his administration sees to the reconstruction of the federal roads linking Plateau and other neighboring states.
I have been a resident in this state for the past 28 years. We have promised that we will restore peace in this state. We will also revamp the economy of this state. We will also make sure this state is connected to the neighboring states as far as the road infrastructures are concerned. APC has neglected all the roads connecting Plateau with other states in the country. We promise, because you are a PDP state, we promise we will make sure these roads are rehabilitated. We will revamp the economy. We will bring about peace and prosperity, particularly to our young men and women.
And now to other matters. The Nigerian Senate has also commenced the process of amending the Act establishing the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, to guarantee security of tenure of the chairman of the commission. One of the main objectives of the bill is to subject the termination of the appointment of the EFCC chairman to the confirmation of the National Assembly, and to also establish continuity and consistency in the anti-graft agency. Now take a look.
For other anti-graft agencies created through the legislative instrumentality, before and later, that is, the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, and Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, the National Assembly ensured that the headship had security of tenure. by ensuring that their appointments and removal, as the case may be, were subject to the confirmation of the Senate. That was not the case with the EFCC. Therefore, in this proposed amendment, it is intended to bring EFCC in conformity with the other two anti-graft agencies of government. This will engender optimal performance of the commission, performance by the commission of the very important mandate assigned to it.
We have a situation in this country where the leadership of EFCC was unceremoniously removed because of perceived political differences. In this case, Mr. President, it will not promote professionalism. It will not promote continuity.
If we restrict the chairmanship of EFCC to only staff of EFCC, we may be limiting ourselves. Because a situation may arise where we have a capable hand who has done similar things in a similar agency, maybe outside the country, and we may want to bring him to come and improve on the agency we have in Nigeria. By then, we must have limited ourselves because of this singular amendment we want to do.
Let's tie down this thing properly when we come to public hearing.